Hi, welcome to AddOneBit. I'm really happy you're here today, because this video is not just about a book. It's about understanding why we struggle so much to change our habits, even when we really want to. Today's video is going to be very special, because we are going to talk about one of the most life-changing books I've ever read. The book we're talking about today is Atomic Habits by James Clear. So let's start. Basically, this book is all about how small changes, tiny improvements, can lead to remarkable results over time. It's not about those big, dramatic transformations that we see in movies or Instagram reels. It's about the small things we do every single day. Let me explain everything to you in a simple way, so relax, because this video is going to be calm and practical. The power of tiny improvements. You know how we always think, I need to make a big change in my life, or I need to completely transform myself. Well, James Clear says that's actually the wrong approach. He talks about this concept of getting 1% better every day. Now, 1% sounds so small, right? Like, what difference will it make? But here's where the magic happens, and the math is actually quite fascinating. If you improve by just 1% every single day for 1 year, by the end of that year, you'll be 37 times better than when you started. Can you believe that? 37 times. It's because of compounding. Just like how compound interest works in our bank accounts or mutual funds, it works with our habits too. But here's the scary part. If you get 1% worse every day for 1 year, you'll decline to nearly zero. That's why those small bad habits are so dangerous. One cigarette won't kill you, one missed workout won't make you unfit, one junk food meal won't make you unhealthy. But do these things consistently, and after some months or years, you'll see the results. The author gives this brilliant example. Imagine you're on a plane from Mumbai to Delhi, right? If the pilot adjusts the heading just by 3.5 degrees south, you won't notice anything at first. But instead of landing in Delhi, you'll end up in Jaipur. A tiny change in direction leads to a completely different destination. That's exactly how our habits work. The small choices we make every day, hitting snooze, scrolling social media for 10 extra minutes, eating 1 extra gulab jamun, skipping 1 workout, these don't seem to matter much in the moment. But they compound over time. I'll give you a personal example. I used to always say, I'll start exercising from Monday. And Monday would come and go, and nothing would happen. It's because I was trying to go from zero to hero. I was planning to work out for 1 hour every day. That's too much, too soon. But after reading this book, I started with just 2 minutes of exercise. Yes, just 2 minutes. Sounds stupid, right? But those 2 minutes became 5 minutes, then 10 minutes, and now I'm doing 30 minutes regularly. The key is to start small and be consistent. The problem with goals and targets is that we often feel like we're failing until we achieve them. Like, if your goal is to lose 10 kilograms, you feel like a failure at 9.5 kilograms. But if you focus on the system, like eating healthy, exercising regularly, then you're winning every single day. Systems versus goals. Now this is something that really changed my perspective, and I think it'll blow your mind too. We've always been taught to set goals, right? Set your goals, dream big, have a vision, we hear this everywhere. But James Clear says something different and quite revolutionary. He says, forget about goals. Focus on systems instead. Now don't get me wrong. He's not saying goals are useless. But he's saying that goals are just about the results you want to achieve, while systems are about the processes that lead to those results. And if you want long-term success, systems are way more important than goals. Let me explain with examples. Think about cricket. Every team that plays in IPL or World Cup has the same goal, to win the championship. But only one team wins. So if goals were the key to success, why doesn't every team win? Because it's not about the goal, it's about the system. The winning team has better training systems, better coaching, better teamwork, better practice routines. Their system is better, and that's why they win. Same thing with business. Every startup founder wants to be successful, make crores of rupees, become the next unicorn. But why do only some succeed? Because they built better systems for their business, better processes, better team management, better customer service. Or think about studying. Every student wants to score well in exams. But the toppers are not the ones who just want it more. They're the ones who have better study systems. They have a routine, they take notes properly, they revise regularly. It's the system that makes them successful. Now here's something interesting he points out. There are 4 problems with focusing only on goals. Problem 1. Winners and losers have the same goals. Every athlete wants to win gold. Every business wants to be successful. Every student wants to score 90%. So clearly, goals alone don't differentiate success from failure. Problem 2. Achieving a goal is only a momentary change. Think about it. You clean your room, it gets messy again. You lose weight, you gain it back. Why? Because you didn't change the underlying system. You need to solve problems at the systems level. Problem 3. Goals restrict your happiness. This is so true. We're always saying, I'll be happy when I achieve this goal. But happiness gets postponed again and again. When you fall in love with the process rather than the result, you enjoy the journey. Problem 4. Goals are at odds with long-term progress. This is the biggest one. When you achieve a goal, what happens? You lose motivation. Like, you train for months for a marathon, you complete it, and then you stop running. But if you're committed to the system of being a runner, you keep going. So the author's big message here is, you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. This hit me hard. I realized all my failed attempts at change were because I was focused on goals, not systems. I wanted to lose weight, but I didn't build a system of healthy eating and regular exercise. I wanted to learn guitar, but I didn't build a system of daily practice. Now I focus on building systems, and trust me, results follow automatically. When you fix the inputs, the outputs take care of themselves. Identity-based habits. Okay, so now comes the most powerful concept in the entire book, identity-based habits. This is what separates temporary changes from permanent transformations. James Clear says there are 3 layers of change. Layer 1, outcomes. These are about what you get. Like losing 10 kilograms, getting a promotion, finishing a book. Most goals are at this level. Layer 2, processes. These are about what you do. Like going to gym, following a study routine, implementing a new habit. Most habits are at this level. Layer 3, identity. This is about what you believe. Like, I am a healthy person, I am a reader, I am a disciplined person. This is the deepest level. And here's the key insight. Most people try to change from outside to inside. They set outcome-based goals and try to achieve them. But lasting change happens from inside to outside. You need to start with your identity. Let me explain with real examples. 2 people are trying to quit smoking. Someone offers them a cigarette. Person 1 says, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." This is outcome-based. They still see themselves as a smoker who's trying to quit. Person 2 says, "No thanks, I'm not a smoker." This is identity-based. They've changed who they believe they are. Can you see the difference? Person 1 is using willpower to resist temptation. But person 2 doesn't even see it as temptation because they're not a smoker anymore. Same with exercise. If someone asks you to skip your workout, outcome-based thinking, I can't, I need to lose weight. This creates resistance. Identity-based thinking, I don't skip workouts, I'm an athlete. This is just who you are. The author says, your current behaviors are simply a reflection of your current identity. Everything you do right now is a mirror of the type of person you believe you are, either consciously or subconsciously. If you believe you're a lazy person, you'll act lazy. If you believe you're a creative person, you'll create things. If you believe you're a generous person, you'll be generous. Our behavior is usually consistent with our self-image. So the real question is not, how can I change my habits? The real question is, who do I want to become? And here's the beautiful part, you can actually choose your identity. It's not fixed. You can decide who you want to be and then prove it to yourself through small wins. There are 2 simple steps. Step 1, decide the type of person you want to be. Not what you want to achieve, but who you want to become. Want to be fit. Don't think, I want to lose 10 kilograms. Think, I want to become the type of person who never misses a workout. Step 2, prove it to yourself with small wins. Every action you take is like a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Write 1 page. That's a vote for, I am a writer. Go to gym once. That's a vote for, I am an athlete. Read for 10 minutes. That's a vote for, I am a reader. You don't need a unanimous vote. You don't need to be perfect. You just need a majority. If you cast enough votes for your new identity, you'll eventually believe it. And once you believe it, you'll automatically do the things that person would do. I applied this in my own life. Instead of saying, I want to read 12 books this year, I started saying, I am a reader. Every time I read even 1 page, I was reinforcing that identity. Now reading has become part of who I am, not just something I do to achieve a goal. This is the secret to lasting change. Change your identity, and your habits will follow naturally. Don't try to force habits through willpower alone. That's exhausting and unsustainable. Instead, become the type of person who naturally does those things. Alright, so now we come to the practical framework, the 4 laws of behavior change. This is like the operating manual for building good habits and breaking bad ones. But before we dive into the laws, let me explain the science behind habits. Understanding this will make everything else super clear. Every habit follows the same pattern, the same cycle. It has 4 stages. Stage 1, cue. This is the trigger that initiates the behavior. It's like a signal that tells your brain to go into automatic mode. For example, your phone buzzes. That's a cue to check it. Stage 2, craving. This is the motivation behind every habit. You don't crave the habit itself, you crave the change in state it delivers. You don't crave smoking, you crave the feeling of relief it provides. You don't crave scrolling Instagram, you crave the entertainment and distraction. Stage 3, response. This is the actual habit you perform. It's the action you take. The response depends on how motivated you are and how much friction is associated with the behavior. Stage 4, reward. This is the end goal of every habit. It satisfies your craving and teaches your brain which actions are worth remembering for the future. So it goes like this: cube, craving, response, reward. Then the cycle repeats. Cube, craving, response, reward. Again and again until it becomes automatic. This is called the habit loop. Let me give you a very Indian example. You come home from office, tired and stressed, cue. You feel like you need to relax, craving. You make yourself a cup of chai, response. You feel relaxed and refreshed, reward. Next day, same time, your brain remembers this and automatically craves chai when you get home. Or social media. You're bored, cue. You want to be entertained, craving. You open Instagram, response. You feel entertained for a while, reward. Your brain learns this pattern, and now every time you're bored, you automatically reach for your phone. Now, James Clear brilliantly connected these 4 stages to create the 4 laws of behavior change. It's a simple framework that you can use to design good habits and eliminate bad ones. For creating a good habit. First law, cue, make it obvious. Second law, craving, make it attractive. Third law, response, make it easy. Fourth law, reward, make it satisfying. For breaking a bad habit, you simply invert these laws. Inversion of first law, cue, make it invisible. Inversion of second law, craving, make it unattractive. Inversion of third law, response, make it difficult. Inversion of fourth law, reward, make it unsatisfying. Over the next sections, I'll explain each law in detail with lots of examples. Trust me, once you understand these 4 laws, you'll have a complete toolkit to change any habit in your life. Okay, so we've covered the 4 laws in detail. But James Clear also shares some advanced tactics that can take your habit game to the next level. Let me share the most important ones. Tactic 1, the Goldilocks rule. You know the story of Goldilocks, right? Not too hot, not too cold, just right. The same applies to habits and motivation. The Goldilocks rule states that humans experience peak motivation when working on tasks that are right on the edge of their current abilities. Not too easy, boring, not too hard, frustrating, but just right, engaging. If you're learning guitar and you only practice simple songs, you'll get bored. If you try to play expert-level songs, you'll get frustrated and quit. But if you practice songs that are just slightly beyond your current skill, you'll stay motivated. This is why games are so addictive. They're designed to always be challenging but achievable. You defeat level 5, you move to level 6, slightly harder, but still doable. Apply this to your habits. If you're reading, don't always read simple books or impossibly difficult books. Read books that stretch you slightly. If you're exercising, gradually increase difficulty. Keep pushing just beyond your comfort zone. Tactic 2. Never miss twice. I mentioned this earlier, but it's so important it deserves its own section. Life will interrupt your habits. You'll get sick, you'll have emergencies, you'll have busy days. That's normal. The key is, never miss twice. Missing once is an accident. Missing twice is the start of a new, bad habit. If you miss your workout Monday, make absolutely sure you don't miss Tuesday. If you skip your meditation today, do it tomorrow without fail. Don't let a single missed day turn into a week or a month. I have this rule printed and stuck on my wall, never miss twice. It saved my habit so many times. Tactic 3. Slow down when you start. This is counterintuitive but crucial. When starting a new habit, do less than you're capable of. Go slow. Why? Because you want to establish the habit of showing up before you worry about intensity or results. Consistency comes before intensity. If you've never exercised and suddenly try to work out for an hour every day, you'll burn out in a week. But if you start with just 5 minutes a day and slowly build up, you'll still be exercising a year from now. Protect your habit of showing up. Make it so easy that you can't say no. Once the habit is established, then you can increase intensity. Tactic 4. Standardize before you optimize. You can't improve a habit that doesn't exist. Before you worry about doing something well, just focus on doing it at all. First, establish the habit. Show up consistently. Then, after it's locked in, you can optimize and improve it. Example. First, establish the habit of writing every day, even if it's just one bad sentence. Once that's locked in for months, then worry about writing quality. First, establish the habit of going to the gym daily, even if you just walk on the treadmill for 10 minutes. Once that's automatic, then optimize your workout routine. Master the habit of showing up. Standardize before you optimize. Tactic 5. The power of tiny gains. We often dismiss small improvements because they don't seem to matter. But remember the 1% rule from the beginning? Small improvements accumulate. A 1% improvement every day might not look impressive in the short term, but over a year, it's massive. Don't underestimate tiny gains. Don't wait for massive transformation. Just focus on getting a little bit better every day. That's all you need. All right, let me share some common mistakes people make when trying to build habits and how to avoid them. Mistake 1. Trying to change everything at once. This is the biggest mistake. We get excited and try to transform our entire life overnight. Mistake 2. Focusing on goals instead of systems. Mistake 3. Starting too big. Mistake 4. Giving up after missing once. Mistake 5. Not tracking progress. Mistake 6. Not changing your environment. Mistake 7. Expecting linear progress. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. 1% better every day. That's it. The changes might feel small in the beginning. You might not see results immediately. But keep going. Trust the process. I've personally applied so many concepts from this book, and it's genuinely changed my life. So take these lessons, apply them in your life, and watch how small changes lead to remarkable results. Start today. Start small, but start. If you found value here, please like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to AddOneBit. Thank you so much for listening. Now go out there and start building your atomic habits. All the best.